a tremendous amount of respect for. Someone who is no stranger to the financial industry, a financial expert, master in finance, financial advisor, U.S. Army major, retired, mother, grandmother. We call her the trade whisperer, the creator of the BYOB cash out strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tasha M. Dyer. Miss Dyer, are you on the call?
Yes, I am, and welcome. Good evening, everyone. I want to first thank Mr. Love Phillips because of what he's doing, how instrumental he is with the movement. So thank you so very much. But BYOB Worldwide, as you're joining us this evening, let's make sure that we get that. Hey, there's my friend in New Orleans. So as you're joining us this evening, let's get that in the chat. Where are you calling from? You know, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, just in general, is always going to have a special place in my heart. We got to make sure we're cashing out worldwide. I see everyone on the call, so drop it in the chat. Where you're calling from. Let me know where you're calling from. This is Tasha M. Dyer. The trade whisperer and creator of the BYOB Cash Out. So tonight is about training. But I still want to make sure that I have you all in the right mindset, because that clear mind, it opens the charts. That clear mind helps you understand the big picture. That clear mind. So once again, you already know, drop it in the chat. I love it. I am a master trader. All my trades end in profit. I am a master trader. All my trades end in profit. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can educate yourself. So I don't care if you've been enrolled a day or if you've been enrolled a year. You know, it's what BYOB is. It's be your own bank, right? It's be your own bank. And what that means is that you're ready to enroll. You're ready to learn the strategies. You're ready to learn how to use the tools. And what those tools do is they put you in a position of profit, right? That's what those tools do. So I want to make sure that each and every last one of you all are prepared, right? So there has been some upgrades, right? There has definitely been some upgrades to the system. And so now you actually have two different websites. You have two different sites instead of just one, and different sites for all of the tools. So first things first is you have MDOT Academy, and that replaces that .com, right? That replaces, you know, we're used to using .com, .net, things of that nature. That actually replaces that. So I am, right? It's I am, and then it's .academy. And that's where you're gonna go. That's where you log into, you know, that's where you go, that's where you log in, and that's where you actually are able to view and to see, especially from a business standpoint, that's where you take care of your account billings. That's where you do all of that, just like at a university, right? I go to my classes in different buildings, but my registrar's office where I take care of all my business is in a completely different place. So this is an online university. So that's why our focus, we've always been focused on enroll, learn, profit. You becoming a signal, you learning a skill set to set yourself free financially. Ultimately, think like a bank, act like a bank, become your own bank, right? So that's what this is. That's what this is designed to do. And so, but at IM.Center is your building where all your classes are housed. That's where you want to make sure that you go. So regardless of how long you've been enrolled, I want you all to come get familiar with this site, and I want you all to come go through the academy, right? IM.Center. That's the site. And just as I was explaining, that it removes that it's not a .com, .net, any of that. It's IM.Center. So this is where you're gonna go, and you want to make sure that you are educating yourself. So what you know is when you come, you got your home, you got your learning, you got your academies. This is where Piptop is now, right? This is where Piptop is. So this is where Piptop is, and then this is where your products are, and go live. So when you want to see an educator and you want their live, so everything is now housed in one area. Whereas before it was almost, I mean, they had links, but it was almost like it was a requirement that we had to visit each individual site. So every single thing is now here in this one area, in this one center, and that's why it's called IM.Center. Center. You notice I actually drop it in the chat for you. And you have to, good evening, everybody that's just joining us. You have to make sure, the way I typed it, you have to make sure it doesn't put that I'm, like I''M. You have to make sure, because, you know, our computers, our cell phones are all defaulted to change that word to look like that. So, but it's IM.Center, and I dropped it in the chat. And that's gonna actually take you to this site. So where I wanna go is I wanna go to my academies, right? I clicked the wrong thing. I wanna go to my academies. And when I go to my academies, what I wanna do is I wanna look at FRX, right? FRX. And so I wanna enroll. See how they keep out an enroll word, right? It's an online university. You are in an online university. And this is where you're going to find your videos, your training. This is where we begin. And notice that when you first enroll, you are going to have to do your, the default password is I'm powerful. So you have to change that. My recommendation, of course, is to change it to what your password already is, or to make sure that they match the im.academy and the im.center, right? Because it's the same information. It does. It looks really good. So you want to go in, and it's what is Forex, right? And then now you have quizzes where you can come in and take quizzes. As you can see, I actually went in there since we've done it. I've re-gone through some of the videos. So yes, I'm educating, but yet I'm still training. I'm always a student. So it's nothing wrong with going back in and diving back in. That's why I said whether you've been enrolled a day or you've been enrolled a year, it doesn't matter. Get back in here. And so the history of Forex, right? What moves the markets, participants, right? We got class on trading view. I mean, it's everything in here. What's important? Everyone is important. The quiz portion will tell you if you are ready. That's why I like it, because we went through it before. And did you comprehend it? Did you grasp it? Did you, and so yes, I'm so happy as well, Jeff, for that addition to this. So you have buy versus sell, right? You got where you can buy or you can sell it, right? It kind of breaks that down for you. What is a pip? And your lot size. What are lots, right? Your orders. So everything that we're talking about, everything that we're doing, I see a lot of people asking, well, how do I count the pips, right? Let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to the basics. Let's refine our skill set. And then my lot size. Well, how much money will I make on a pip? Well, guess what? Your lot size is going to help you with that lot size. And so, I mean, bid versus ask, which is your spread. Everything you need to know. You hear me talk about different types of analysis all the time. So now guess what? It's all here. You want to know about your Android, right? Because, you guys need a little extra help. No, I'm just playing. But the iPhone, right? So you have an iPhone, you want to enter that trade. It's different on each device. So because the apps are done a little bit differently. So everything that you need is in here. Even the next, you got your level 2, right? We got level 2, which gets, remember technical analysis? So technical analysis, and then, we just keep going, and then we have our different levels. So how did I get to where I am? I logged into im.center. im.center. When I logged in, I went to academies. And when I went to academies, I enrolled. And so you actually will see, just everything that you need. And then of course, level 3. So We have all this information in here. And then, so everything used to be in different compartments, different areas, but now it's just all right here. So you just want to make sure that you are completely continuing to elevate. Now, I would highly recommend before you start trading that you actually get at least through the everything that begins with a 1, right? Remember, just like in college, you got your different level class, you got your level 1s, your level 2s, you got your upper level classes. Well, guess what? This is exactly what you're looking for. So I would highly recommend before you start that you at least get through your lower level classes. You get through level 1. So I highly recommend that's what you do. And then
I just want to add to that. It is paramount. Not only get through your level 1 classes, in order for you to be effective, you must complete your basics and no less than technical analysis. Because if you haven't completed either of those, any information, the questions that what you're asking, if you're asking those questions, it's going to tell because you have not taken the time to go through the basics and then technical analysis. So that is a necessity. There's no option. You have to do that if you want to be effective in trading. It is not an option. I just wanted to add that to the commentary.
Oh no, that's fine, because it's so important, right? This is so important because we're focused. If I want to think like a bank, I want to act like a bank, I want to be my own bank. You made a decision and you enrolled, right? You made a decision and you enrolled. And when you made that decision, this is your tuition, because this is an online university. This is an online academy. So you are literally in school. So how do I take another skill set and take it to the next level? Well, guess what? Everything you've done in life, you've educated yourself. Every single thing, with the exception of your finances. So we want to make sure that we do it with our finances. If you are working on someone else's job, right? If you are working on somebody's job, then what happens is you got to educate yourself for that. You got to have the degrees. You got to have the certificates. You got to have everything, right? But yet, when it comes to yourself, we'll take shortcuts. And we want to eliminate those shortcuts today, because the only thing you learned about money in school was how to count it. Unless you took an elective or you specifically took something towards a financial, right? What did you learn about money? You didn't learn how to manage it. You didn't learn any of that. So now that you're in a position, that's part of the programming. That's part of programming, because we want to build up somebody to put you in a position to win for someone else. But yet we want to minimize the education that's required for you to advance for yourself. So that's what that is. And so now you are here to remove the blinders. You're here to remove and to gain all the knowledge. So let's not take any shortcuts. You know, I'm going back through it myself, yet I'm on here every day teaching and training. But if I want to help you elevate, I have to know what it is and what's in there. And it is absolutely nothing wrong with refining your skill set. And that is what this is all about, right? That is what this is. So get in the academy. Let's get in the academy. And then in the academy as well, you see they have it in the different languages. You got your high frequency Forex, right? You got your digital currency. And of course, if you want to share this information from a business standpoint, you will also have your IBO Academy. So you definitely want to make sure that you go through here. You want to make sure that you get involved and get enrolled. And that's IM.Center. And then you have your Piptop, right? You have your Piptop. So you can actually, it's supposed to feed you to text messages. I mean, so we have them. So all you have to do is go in. So if I want to subscribe to the vibrata, okay? And now I'm subscribed to the vibrata. And so there's an app that you can download. And when you download the IM.Center app, then you should actually be able to get text messages, because I know we know about Piptop, but you should actually be able to get text messages as well. And then you got your products. Now, the enrollment is the enrollment. There are 4 different ways to enroll. But once again, you think like a bank, act like a bank, become your own bank. We don't shortcut the tools. If I was opening a business that was brick and mortar, if I was going to school, I'm not going to go to class and borrow my neighbor's notes, right? I'm not going to open a business without making sure I have everything to be successful, and it's loading. But as you can see, so you have your academies and then you have your products. So you want to have access to all the products, right? So we don't cut ourselves short. This is an online university, and you actually should have all of the tools. So the tools are what is going to help you become successful. And so here's the vibrato, right? This is the vibrato. So this is formerly known as the web analyzer. And so if I click the vibrato, now, do you see how I got to it? Because all I did is go to products. And once I went to products, I clicked the vibrato, and now I actually have it pulled up. And so now I'm actually here with the vibrato. So this is where we are, and that's how we got to the vibrato. So everything that you need, every single thing that you need is in there. Every single tool is along the side, so I can switch back and forth. I can select my strategies from here, the strategies, and of course we have the BYOB cash out selected. You know, we have our panel alerts. You see this is moved. It tells you what session you're currently in. So this is literally the vibrato. My time frames, you know, I can send a push notice to, you know, I just send a push notice to make sure everything is coming through. But this is how you get there, and this is where it's at. So before we end this call, we're going to go back, and I want to make sure you understand time frame confluence. But I want to, there are a few things. We get a lot of questions, and people are talking about compounding. And this one was actually, I believe, dropped in the Telegram chat. And so I want to share with you this compounding chart, because if we're going to cash out, we want to cash out. We always want to practice proper risk management. Remember, your account, your trading is not, the market is not a charitable organization, right? It's not a charitable organization. We are not here to donate money to the market. So that's why it's so important for you to begin with that academy that I just shared with you. You want to begin with IM.Center, and then you want to progress and you want to move forward to where you now actually understand, how do I multiply, right? We want to do this, as risk management is so important. We want to use proper stop losses. We want to make sure that we are in the market where our lot size is the correct size. You want to do all of those things. And in doing so, this is how you progress, and this is how you actually take it to the next level. So, okay, so before I switch over, how do I change it to the BYOB? And we are going to come back to the vibrato. But at the top where it says strategies, there's a drop-down menu. And here you go, BYOB cash out right there. It's loaded as a short-term scalping. It's also loaded. Well, it was loaded. It was right here. No, here it is, intraday. So it's intraday right here. So now, as we know and as we've discussed, you can also use it for longer trades as well. But most of you all are using it for intraday and for short-term scalping. So you see the strategies button is no longer at the bottom, it's now at the top. And you just highlight it, you pick BYOB cash out, and it's going to load. Now, let's compound, because honestly, I want everyone that is under the sound of my voice, everyone that is trading the BYOB cash out, I want you compounding, right? I want you compounding. I want you to grow your accounts, right? And we want to do it from a systematic standpoint. It's not a guessing game. And that's why I like this chart. And this is where I'm going to focus, right? So today is October the 1st. Today is October the 1st. So this can be day one. And understand that, so we're going to take this compounding challenge. If you're with me, right? If you're with me, BYOB worldwide. If you're with me, BYOB challenge, BYOB challenge, BYOB challenge. Let me get a 555 in the chat. Let me get a 555 in the chat. If you're with me, you're ready to compound and you want to do it from a systematic process, not a guessing game, right? Let me get that 555 in the chat. Awesome. So now your balance, your account balance, where am I starting from? And this is actually going to be loaded. Well, we're going to drop this in the Facebook group, right? So this is where we get our account balance. Our account balance starts at 100, okay? Your percentage that you want to grow, okay? You can actually change this. So I can do, let me see. Let's say some people start their account balance with 50 and they want to grow by 5%, right? They want to grow by 5%. You want to grow by 2%, right? You want to grow by 2%. You can change it. You want to start your account balance with 100 and grow by 2%, right? You can change it, right? You can change it. You want to start your account balance with $500, okay? You can change it, grow at 2%. I'm gonna put the 5% back in here. So you can actually change this. So now, make sure you all are in the Facebook group and you'll get access to it. So somebody somebody can drop the, I know somebody dropped it. I know it was dropped in the Telegram earlier, but I want it in the Facebook group so you guys can access it. So, and I have to continue to scroll, And what just happened? Just a second. So, here we go. So I'm back to $100 at 5%. So you see this says trade one. So we made a deposit of $100. And you see this says trade one. So at trade one at 5%, my profit is $5, right? So what's my lot size? My lot size, I got $100. My lot size is 0.05. If I'm going, so this is my, you see, I'm looking for my take profit is 10 pips. Up to 73, you see, is a 0.01, okay? And so you understand that your lot size is BYOB Cash Out is a Facebook group, BYOB Cash Out. You see your lot size, it changes, right? And of course, look at the stop loss, but we know that where our stop loss is above or below the PSAR, right? It's above or below the PSAR. So you understand that your lot size is going to grow. So if you're starting with $50 in your trade account, which is possible, look at my lot size. My lot size is 0.03. As you can see, and if you've been on my trainings before, you've been on my live session, what do I say consistently? I tell you consistently that you shouldn't even be touching until you understand the strategy, until you build your account to a certain amount. Until you build your account to a certain amount, you should not even be touching the higher time frames, right? You shouldn't be. And now look at what this compounding sheet is telling you. It's also telling you that we're not touching those higher time frames until my account reaches a certain amount. So you notice that until it reaches at least $77 in my account, when I started it at 50, I'm not even touching that higher lot size. So that's something that you want to take into consideration. And then for those of you all that want to trade the daily, or you just want to get higher where you're grabbing more pips, see, it's not even recommending that I touch those higher lot sizes until I'm over $100, right? Until I'm over $100. So this is definitely something that you want to take into consideration. So after 125 trades, okay, 125 trades, starting my account at $50, growing it by 5%, okay? That after 125 trades, that's $22,000, right? So now understand, if you do hit a stop loss, right, you're looking at, you got to go back to what your account balance is, right? You have to go back to your account balance. So if I start my account at $100, okay, growing my account at 5%, you come down after so many trades. Now, you notice that this is just growing my account at 5%. You see, I'm now over 44,000, right? So, and that's just where you started your account balance. So understand that it's going to continue to grow. So let's say I start my account at $300. Okay, start my account at $300. After that same amount of trades, I now have over $133,000. So of course, the more you fund your account with, the more money you can compound and make. That's not daily or weekly. You see, I'm looking at per trade. It's growing per trade. So my profit goal is 15. So if I start my account at $300, that means that my profit goal is $15 at that 5%, because with a proper lot size, right? A 10 pip take profit is 0.15. When I get to those higher time frames, it's 0.02. If I'm on the hour time frame, it should not. And I'm looking for, like today, GBP ran for, let's see, you're trying to take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. You're trying to do all of that, and you got the opportunity to gain about 70 pips or 50, 70 pips or what have you. My lot size should not be a 0.15. My lot size is a 0.02. So do you see, when I'm only going for 10, I can put it at 0.15, but when I'm looking higher, it's a 0.02. So, so even as I'm growing my account, you notice that it's higher on this side when I'm going for 10, but then when I'm scalping, when I'm doing the long-term trading, it's intraday, it's at a 0.15. And then if I'm looking longer, which I'm swing trading, you see it's at a 0.11. So it's how you grow your account. This is how we compound. And so that's what we're telling you. Do you accept the challenge to learn how to be your own bank? With BYOB, everything we do, we practice proper risk management, proper education, proper. And so I just want to know, do you accept the challenge to be your own bank? Do you accept the challenge? Because we're compounding. This is a new fiscal year. Everything starts over. That's why we had so many red folders today, because everybody wanted to talk about what they did, how they progressed, like was the year where everybody ended lower. We did different things, right? So where we are right now is, let's start this fiscal year. Fiscal years work with I'm on a Mac. Fiscal years work with your money. Fiscal years are money. So today is October the 1st. So this is perfect, right? For us to be talking about your money. So that means that everybody cashing out, everybody associated with BYOB will definitely be cashing out and put in a position to win. And then there's something else before we get back to the, it's something else I want to share with you before we get to the time frames, right? Before we get to those time frames. So I'm going to log on my laptop because I have to do that. The BYOB cash out, make sure you are in the BYOB cash out, because that is where you're going to be able to find this. That is the Facebook group, right? That is a Facebook group. So I'm going to stop my share over here, and I want to start my share. Hold on. Oh, come on, mouse. I need to stop my share. Here we go. Know where it's at. So now I'm going to share with you we talk about a trailing stop loss, okay? So I got a trade going right now in a demo account. So I want to share with you from the laptop. So once again, this is a trade that's already going in my demo account. So what you're seeing is a demo account, and you're seeing a trade that's active, right? You're seeing a trade that's active. And what you're looking at, of course, is the cash out on now this is a MetaTrader 4 platform from a broker. So what you have to do in order to get this is you have to download it from your broker's site. You want to make sure that you download this from your broker's site. Now, when you download this from your broker's site, you hear me talking about a trailing stop loss, right? A trailing stop loss. So, which means that you can actually put the trade in. So for example, I think on one of those GBP pairs before the spike, I did about 74, 75 pips on that pair, right? And that's because I put in a trailing stop loss. Now, and of course, I'm going to show you, we talk about how it's done. We talk about the support and resistance lines. None of that changes. Hear me clearly, none of that changes. But so you see this trade that's going. Now, what I want to do is come to my stop loss. I want to right click it and I click trailing stop loss. You notice that on this broker site, it's in points. So that when I analyze this on this broker site, you need to look at your broker site that you use to make sure, because you don't want to get knocked out of a trade too early. When this one is referring to points, what they're discussing and what they're talking about is that includes the pipette. So 1.5, right, 15 points to this broker means 1 point, like 1 pip and half of a pipette. So 20 points is only 22 pips. So for me, what I need to do, right, what I have to do is do custom. So if you want a 15 pip stop loss, right, I'm gonna do 150 points. Because remember, that's gonna make it 15 pips because this one is including the pipette. It's including the pipette. So if I wanted a 20 pip stop loss, it's going to be 200. So that's what you're looking for. I don't take my trades off of the MT4 on my laptop. I don't. I have now, of course, I like it to be set up that way because I like to be able to look at, right? I like my screen to look similar. But those, you see, that's what the Hikinashi looks like. That's really not, you see, is different. So I have the Hikinashi. Remember, the Hikinashi candle is an actual indicator. It's an indicator. And so you kind of see that white line placed on top of, it's just kind of like on top of the candle. And so it's not going to be the same because once again, it's pushing for, right? It's just not going to be the same because it's showing you the actual Japanese candle. So make sure you understand that we do all our analyzation. We do everything on the vibrata, but you come to the MT4 just to enter and exit your trades. I just like it to look very similar, right? But that's what it's for. So back to the trailing stop loss. So you see that my trailing stop losses are now at 200 points, okay? And so if I just want 10, but remember, you want to make sure you check your broker to see how it works. But you see, all I did is right click my stop loss, right? All I did is right click my stop loss and I put, now I have it set at 10 pips behind it, right? 10 pips. So I actually have a trailing stop loss and it's not even showing you the right currency pair. So now I have a trailing stop loss behind this. And so what you see is that stop loss is actually activated. So it's going to trail and go with my trade so that as it's moving with my trade, that if it pulls back, right? So you want to give room for the correction. So if it pulls back, then guess what? I don't get knocked out of the trade, right? I mean, I don't get knocked out, but if it pulls back and it starts turning around, now it stopped. Where is this beautiful? It's on everything, but when you're trading the indices like the US 30, when you're trading gold, when you're trading those things and you get those significant pullbacks, it'll go ahead and take you out. So and of course with the indices, you want to, of course, once you have to demo and test it with that currency pair because it's going to apply to a difference because this says points. Indices are already in points. So if I want a 20 point, a 30 point, right, the indices are already in points. So if I'm pushing forward and I'm going toward, you know, I'm going for 100 points and then we get a pullback, guess what? It'll take you out. So if I'm going for 100 points and I got a 20 point stop loss, right? A trailing stop loss. If I'm going for 100 points and I'm already 100 points in profit, this trailing stop loss is going to keep moving like this is sell. It's going to keep moving. It's going to move as my trade moves. So if I get, let's say I was in this trade from up here and now this trade moves all the way down to where it is right now. And when it actually gets here, so for whatever reason, you see it pull back. This actually at this point, I will come out of the trade at this point. So I will hit my stop loss. So why is it worth it? let's say you got a 20 pip stop loss, right? 20 pip, 20 point, whatever you're trading. And I've already gone 80, I've gone 80 pips. Would I have actually set my take profit for 80 pips? Maybe not. You know, I might not have done that. However, if it pulls back, if I set it for 80, or if I'm letting it ride and I'm 80 and then it pulls back to 60, I'm still 60 pips or 60 points in profit. But you just have to see what it is that's comfortable for you. Remember, our stop loss is typically outside of this PSAR. So if that's 20, it could be 10, it could be 20. You just have to look at what you're doing with that currency pair when you set it. So do I have any questions on the trailing stop loss before I go back to cash out? If I got a question, drop it in the chat. What's your question? And I love it because you see, I don't even have a take profit set. It's just riding. What you say you have a question? Drop your question in the chat because I'm gonna change my screen in just a minute. Anybody else you have a question, go ahead and drop it as well. Now, okay, so that's actually a very good question. How far before you execute the trailing stop loss? As soon as I enter the trade, and first thing first, this can only be done on a computer, right? It can only be done on a computer. So second thing, how far before I execute it? As soon as I place the trade, I'm executing my trailing stop loss. I'm gonna place my stop loss where it should be above the PSAR, below the PSAR, right? So I would already know that number. I would place my stop loss. However, this is where, this is where the buy activated. I mean, the sell activated right here. We sold right here. And the trailing stop loss, if I set it for 10 pips, if I set it for 20 pips, it's not going to activate until I'm 10 pips. If it's set at 10, it's not going to activate till I'm 10 pips in profit. So once I get 10 pips in profit, then my trailing stop loss will start moving with me. And so you'll notice that'll be, once you're 10 pips in profit, you'll notice that it'll be close to here, right? It'll be close to here, and then it'll keep moving. It'll start moving with you. So it's definitely going to move with you. And that's what a trailing stop loss does. So if you notice right here, it's here because we are in profit, right? Can I set a take profit? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So you can definitely set a take profit and a trailing stop loss. Oh, most definitely. So you will have to do it. So you notice that it's set. I have to right click and set it for each pair. Yes, you do. You have to right click it and set it for every pair. So I love it. I promise I love it. So those corrections and those pullbacks, I love it. So that is a trailing stop loss. If you can get on here and figure out how to do it, that's why I'm showing you. I recommend everybody use it. If you want to, you know, we always tell you move your stop loss in profit. You hear educators, you hear people say move your stop loss up. You know, let's end your trade in profit. So that's just additional risk management that's going to help you keep your trade in profit. So, but now it's not, I don't have to manually do it. If I'm on my phone, then I have to manually do it. You will see me talking to you about move it up in between us, the first resistance points, move it up to the next one. So that's, you'll see it continue to move. So that's manually. So you're still, it's like you're doing a trailing stop loss, but you're doing it manually. This is computerized. So you can actually walk away from the computer, get you some sleep, relax, go do something else, right? That's what you can do with this. So do I do it at the beginning of the trade? Yes. So when I enter my trade, you set your normal parameters, you set your take profit, you set your, you say you take profit, you set your stop loss, right? You set those. And then it'll kick in when it gets to so many pips in profit or so many points in profit that you set it to. That's when it's actually going to kick in. Oh, you're very welcome. So, and then so if it's you're either going to take profit or you're going to trail it. And when you trail it, then if it pulls back 20 pips, then it's going to take you out of the trade. That's now your stop loss. So that would be nice. So had this one been set, when this one pulled back, this would have actually, it probably wouldn't have kicked in to the end. So it's actually still in that sell. But had it been set up here, when it pulled back, it would have took us out of the trade. What trading page is this? This is downloaded from the broker. So you see the one that this is Crypto Rocket. This is Crypto Rocket. So the stop loss. So once you place a trade, your trade is going to show right here on this broker. It says trade. You got your account history. You have different things across the bottom. You want trade to be, you want to select trade. Then I'm going to right click. When I right click, it's going to pull it up and I see trailing stop loss, right? Trailing stop loss. The minimum you can do is 15 points. With this broker, right, that's actually 1.5 pips because it's accounting for the pipette. So what I realized with this one, because it's in points and it's counting the pipette, and you got to test it with your broker. Each broker, you know, brokers have their own things that they do, but this one is in points and not pips. So what you have to do is come make it custom. So yes, it's going to work. Yes. So you have to come make it custom. And so you want to select custom or unless you just want 5 pips. If you just want 5 pips, then you select 50 and with this broker. So if I want custom, like I wanted 10 pips, I had to put 100 in there because it's accounting for that pipette, right? It's accounting for that pipette. And so that's how you set it. So what if you got a 10 pip trailing stop loss and it goes up 10 pips and then once you hit that stop loss, you are out of the trade. You hit that stop loss, you are out of the trade. So that's why I say you have to demo, you have to practice it, because if the correction, if it pulls back 10 pips, it's going to hit that stop loss once it's activated and you set it for 10 pips. It is going to. So if you want it for 20 pips, that's why you want to give yourself cushion for that correction. So you can kind of look at the PSAR and where you would normally set it, you can kind of look at that PSAR and that as well. So that should definitely help you. So I'm going to stop this share and I'm going to come back. Let me see, what is the question? I saw something come up. I got to pull the chat back up. I closed my computer earlier when I had it, so I'm going to say no. But you have to do it on the computer. So I have a very, very light laptop that I actually carry with me. So you know, it's a very light laptop, so I'm actually able to have access to it now all the time. Whereas before, when I was just working on my Mac, this is the only disadvantage to the Mac, right? That's the only different, but the newer Macs, I believe it works without any issues. So that's why I say the newer Macs is when you download that platform, that wine conversion. So I wasn't able to benefit from this before, but I know how wonderful it works. Look at Cece talking about, no, you don't. That means you're using it all the time. So she already knows, and she's an Apple person, I know for a fact. But you, you don't have to have it. So you literally can just close a laptop, but it has to be done on a laptop. But on the Macs, if you got over a certain age, I don't know, my Mac, it operates like it's new, but obviously it's not, because you can't I have wine on it, but it's just not, I can open it sometimes, but it won't pull everything. So you definitely, the newer Macs, I've gotten feedback that it works quite well. But so mine is 2010. So there you have it. There's that year. It's either 2011 or 12 when they upgraded it. So, or the operating system. So mine is definitely a 2010 or 11. I know I got it in 2010 or 11. But that's the beauty of a Mac. They last forever because it works as if it's new. I have no issues with it at all. But this is not a Mac training class. This is definitely about the BYOB cash out and you in profit. So, but now we know how to compound, right? We know how to compound. We know how to do a trailing stop loss, right? You know how to do a trailing stop loss. So my question now is, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I know I asked you, but this is October the 1st. This is our fiscal year. So remember, we walk in energy, we walk. So I don't care what your trade account looked like before. I don't care what experiences you had before. I don't care if you've blown an account before, because that's not what we're here to do. Today is the day we make that shift. Today is the day we make that transition. Today is the day that you operate with risk management. Today is the day that you operate and you walk in the energy of our affirmation that we've been speaking. I am a master trader. All my trades end in profit. And in order for us to walk in that energy, in order for us to do that, we also said you are the lender and not the borrower. So how do you become the lender? How do you do that? You do that because what you're doing is actually walking in the right energy, and you're practicing proper risk management, and you're compounding your trades. So today is the day we take everything that we've gone through, we take everything that we've learned, we take it all, and today is our fiscal year. So today is our day, October the 1st. Today is the day that we elevate and we cash out. So today is that day. So I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Now, what is the BYOB cash out? Yes, BYOB cash out. We need to have that hashtag all over the place. BYOB cash out, BYOB worldwide. This is your year. And we're not waiting till January the 1st. This is fiscal. Our finances are fiscal. We're not worried about a company. We're not worried about any of that. Today is your day. BYOB worldwide, BYOB cash out. So you have accepted the challenge to learn how to be your own bank, and I love it. So BYOB cash out. Let's talk about some trades. Let's talk about time frame confluence. So you're gonna be so well-rounded all the way around. You definitely are the signal, right? You are the signal. So let's see. I want a good trade set up to show you. So here we are. We're going to use this one. So here, now remember, what you be looking at is this, right? You be looking at this. So here we go. Right here. I'm going to put an arrow because first thing first, somebody tell me what's the first thing I look at when I analyze a trade? Where are my traders at? What's the first thing I look at when I analyze a trade? My stochastic. Awesome. My stochastic. So now, if this is your first time on the call, let me get a 111 in the chat. I'm gonna go over this very clearly, but I want to make sure. So you're really being blessed if this is your first night. And the reason I say you're really being blessed, because today is day one. And you could not have picked a better time to join in with us. So welcome each and every last one of you all who have never joined us before. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is the day you accept the challenge to be your own bank. So that's phenomenal, because now you know how to compound. You know, I mean, you got it. You know exactly. And you know how to go get your education. You know how to do a trailing stop loss. So we're arming you. We're arming you tonight. So first thing first is your stochastic. The stochastic must start around the 80 or the 20. Keyword around, okay? What I'm looking for is it not to start here, right? This one's completely started in the middle. So, and you'll begin to learn and you'll begin to see, because this one had momentum that started and it had a nice little pullback, but yet it still is almost at the 80. So it needs to be around the 80, around the 80, around the 20, right? I don't want it starting in the middle. So if I was looking for a buy, this is not the stochastic cross that I'm looking for. So understand that the stochastic measures momentum. It measures momentum in the market, right? And so if it goes up, it's got to come down. When it goes up, it's got to come down. That's the momentum. And just as I just explained to you, we're starting on the 15-minute chart. So you have to build your account up to a certain level. You have to build your account. And then if you're a swing trader, you can go start doing the swing trades. If you're an intraday trader, go do the intraday trades, right? But you want to start on a 15-minute chart. You want to start from this perspective because you want to gain your confidence. You want to gain everything you need in order to be successful. Now, we have then, and once we understand that the stochastic is telling me I'm looking for a sell, because it's around the 80, I'm looking for a sell. Now, I turn because I'm looking for a sell, I'm looking for a red Hikinashi candle, a red Hikinashi. These are trend candles. Just as you just saw on a broker platform, what you just saw was the traditional Japanese candles. We want the trend candles. That's why our analyzation happens here, right? That's why it always happens here and not over there. So the green candles mean buy, red candles mean sell, okay? So once I identify that, now I also need my PSAR flip. My PSAR is a parabolic stop and reverse. That is a parabolic stop and reverse. So with that parabolic stop and reverse, what this is I have a reversal in the market. So it needs to be on the top for a sell and at the bottom for a buy, right? And so what you're seeing is a nice setup. So my stop loss goes above the PSAR for a sell. It goes below the PSAR for a buy. We do not want a stop loss in between the PSAR and the candle. I do not want a stop loss in between the PSAR and the candle, okay? Now, here we are. This trade actually ran for a total of 66 pips. So yes, you can get more, you can do more, but the strategy is designed for 10 pips and cash out. As you're learning, as you're beginning, this is 10 pips and cash out. Now, hold on. Here we go. Give it a second. Here we go. There we go. So I put that arrow there for one reason, because this is my 3 steps. This is my 3 steps to my cash out. However, you want to also trade with the current swing of the market, right? You want to trade with the current swing of the market. No, when I'm looking at my stochastic, when I say 80 or 20, that's these numbers that run along the side. The stochastic runs from 0 to 100. So I'm looking at these numbers. So when you see this band, right, that's not, you see I got my dark colors here, and I have this band that's in between it, then that's where a lot of the momentum take place. So you're looking for it to range to the top of the band to the bottom of the band. And so this is what the 0 to 100 is. So that's why I say around the 80 or around the 20, because around this 80, I'm looking for a sell. Around this 20, I'm looking for a buy, okay? Now, I got my red candle with a flat top, and I have my PSAR flip, okay? Excuse me. So now, when we talk about the current swing of the market, first thing first is I want to drop down a time frame. When I drop down a time frame, I want to make sure that I am with the current. Of course, I want to enter the same direction. It happens on the lower time frame first. It always happens on the lower time frame first. So I drop down a time frame. If it's selling, if I'm looking for a sell and it's selling on the 5-minute, then I'm still going to be in a sell, right? That's good indication I can enter that sell. But if it was buying, like if you would have dropped down and it was here, then I would have waited for this correction to be finished and then took the trade, right? You don't want to, because sometimes that correction can go for a while. It could be an indication. See, we're not on a higher time frame where we're analyzing the chart. We know what the current trend is doing. We know the market patterns. We're not there. So here we are, right? I'm back. So I know that the overall mark, I'll know that I'm not entering in a correction. Now I want to hop up to the hour. And when I jump to the hour, this is where the current swing of the market is. This is where that current swing of the market would be. So and you see that the current swing of the market is in a sell. So what is the market actually doing? I got to scroll in and figure that out if I want to know what the overall picture of the market is doing. But remember, I'm only looking for 10 pips, right? I'm only looking for 10 pips. So I don't need to come now. It's good to know. That's why you're going through the academy, right? We're going through the academy. So what we have is I have a red candle that actually is in a sale, okay? So knowing that, I could have actually entered this trade. So that is why we do it. So how many candles should we leave it on 5 minutes to make sure we're getting in for the buy or sell? How many candles should we leave it on? Now, it just begins on a 5 minute first. So it's not about how many candles. It's just that you're looking to see that it began. So if I would have been trading off the 5 minute chart, you notice when the PSAR actually flipped on here, sometimes it'll start earlier, but we notice the momentum for a sell started on the 5 minute first. So you actually have sell candles prior, and then you got that PSAR flip. This one happened to flip on the 15 at the same time, right? Doesn't always happen like that. So it's not about how many candles we leave it on. I just need to know that when I come down to this 5 minute chart, that it's in a sell. That's what I need to know. That's what I need to know. So, and then when I go up to the hour, that, you know, when I go up to the hour, that is selling as well. That I see something, because sometimes this candle will be green, but you will see the trend direction. And so you just want to see something. I need to know that the current swing of the market is going the way that I'm trying to trade. And that's going to increase your accuracy to the fullest. Like this has been back tested. It's been back tested. So, and when every currency pair has been back tested, 92% accuracy rate overall, right? We got some of them that are higher than that, but I'm going to tell you, and when I say that, I can stand with confidence because it's been back tested from a computerized standpoint, where every single currency pair, every trade that came from the past year, that is at a 92% accuracy rate. In addition to the fact that so many of you guys are winning, right? So many of you guys are winning. So, but when you add that time frame confluence, it's definitely going to help you. So the question is, so if in a 5 minute and it shows a buy, don't sell it. Exactly. So if I'm starting on here, and if I would have been looking, and I mean this, and I'm gonna tell you from experience, right? Because when we tell you things, you know, like our parents always say, hey, you know, don't do this, don't do that, right? And then we gonna do it anyway because we want to feel it. So, well, the information we're giving you is information that's gonna help you, right? And it's gonna take you to the next level. So that's what we're doing, because we don't want you to feel it. If this isn't a buy, this isn't a sell, and this isn't a buy, that means that it's changing, right? It's a strong possibility the direction of the market is changing. So you haven't done any analysis on the higher time frame to know if I'm in a double top, if I'm in a double bottom, what's the actual trend of the market. You haven't done any analysis on that, right? I can look at this and say, oh, it looks like it's in a sell, right? But is it really? Because it can be in a correction on an uptrend. So you have no idea what it is and what it's doing. So you want to make sure. So right here, so if this turned into a buy, it could literally be going up. It could have kept going up. And so if I enter, then what's going to happen over here? What will happen is this one will actually be turning around, and it would have skyrocketed up for a buy. And that's not what we want to happen. We don't want that to happen. So what we want for you to do is analyze your trade, right? Know what you're looking for. If you don't mind trading the corrections, at least drop down to the 5 minute time frame to say, you know what? I know that I'm in an overall sale. At least do that much. because that's going to save you some heartache. Because if it's turning around, you don't want to turn it around on you. And then the higher time frame is where you're looking for the current swing in the market. No. The stochastic does not have to look like the other time frame. So it does not. It does not. So it definitely does not. So I'll do one more for you like you're asking, but I know we're at the time for the end of this call. So I'll just pick a different currency pair. So let's do a buy. Let's do a buy. We just did a sell. Let's do a buy. So I have a lot of news today, but I mean, and look, all this is we had a lot of selling today because we had all those reports and everything that came out. So just quite a bit. Oh, how about I go to the 15-minute chart? Quite a bit. So let's do this one. So you need help? Try this. Have you tried this? What I'm sharing with you right now? Because that means you're trading a correction and your pip reaction time. So the time it takes you to actually get in the market. So if your trade is turning around on you before you get the 10 pips, that has a lot to do with your pip reaction time and the fact that you might be trading. You know what you're doing. Hey, you want my secrets? So here we go. We got the stochastic. The stochastic is, you see the stochastic is the blue line crossed over the red, right? The blue line crossed over the red into a buy. I got my green candle, right? I got my green candle with a flat bottom, right? I got my green candle with a flat bottom. And then I got my red PSR flip. So here we go. So I got stochastic, candle, flat bottom, PSR flip. Great, right? This is my 3 confirmations, right? This is my 3 confirmations. Now, what I want to do is I want to drop down to the 5-minute. Now, let me find it. How far over did we go? Where's my arrow? How far? I guess we went over a little bit further. That's why I put the arrow on there. It's that visual because we have to find it. And as far as the trailing stop loss, this is actually recorded. So we actually don't have time to go back over that again. But it is recorded, so this video will get posted very soon, and you can go back and watch it over and over again and then ask whatever questions that you have. You can always send me a message. Anybody will tell you I try to be very responsive, but you know, sometimes it might take me a while to get back to you, but I do try to answer every message that I get. So AUDJPY, here you go. You have, now we're looking for a buy, right? We're looking for a buy. So as you can see, this is actually moving into a buy. So I'm entering with, this starts on a 5. So I'm entering with the current direction that I'm trying to trade. I don't want to enter against it. I'm entering with. So if I'm trying to buy, when I drop down, it needs to be in a buy. And I'm looking at the candles. I'm not looking at where the stochastic, I'm not analyzing. Now, of course you want a PSR flip and things like that, because guess what? You know, it's going with that, you know, it's going with that. A PSR should flip on a 5 before it flips on a 15, right? So it'll flip on a 15 before the 30 and before the hour. So you just want to remember that. So, but when I go to the higher time frame, which is my hour time frame now, I'm looking for that to be in the current swing of the market. And we got to find my, here we go. So now what you see, remember, we're only going for like 10 pips. So what is my current swing of the market? Current swing. You see how this was down? It looked like it's in a correction on a higher time frame, right? It went into consolidation. Higher time frame had impulse, correction, continuation. It looked like it could be more correction. However, this is an hour chart. So that's why I'm looking for the current swing of the market. You're gonna get 10 pips, right? When you're with the current swing of the market. I entered without pullback, right? I entered without the pullback, And then I'm entering also with the current swing of the market. So there you have it. And so when I go back to my 15-minute time frame, right? How many pips did we grab? Right? How many pips did we grab? 25. And so 25 pips. And understand, don't try to go get 20. Don't do it. Don't just try to up and go get 20. Get your 10 pips and cash out. And the reason I say that is you have a pip reaction time. You laughing, but I want us practicing proper risk management. And especially while you're trying to get accurate with these trades, especially while you're trying to get consistent with the trade, right? You want to get comfortable. You want to make sure your accounts are in and in the blue. You want to make sure you're doing that. And as you're doing that, then you grab your 10 pips. So you got something called a pip reaction time, right? How long does it take you to actually get in a trade? Your pip reaction time might be way up there. So that means that, because I've seen it. So that means that it's already 7 pips in profit from the time the trade activates to the time you pull it up on your phone to the time that you enter the trade. We 7 pips in profit, right? So this is why some of you all, even if it covers 12 pips or what have you on a correction on other thing, this is why some of you all were not getting your full 10 pips. This is why. And then if I go 10 pips from here, look at where it's at. So you just want to take that and you want to take that into consideration, and you want to make sure that you're doing that. So that's your pip reaction time. So you want to keep that into consideration. So the 5-minute will tell you about if your trade is correct. The 5-minute is going to make sure you're not entering in a pullback. You're not entering in a correction. And then the hour is going to tell you if your trade is correct from going into that, the current swing of the market, right? The current swing of the market. Yes, BYOB Challenge is the YouTube channel, BYOB Challenge. So ladies and gentlemen, I mean, really, this has been wonderful, but I want to actually turn this call over now to Mr. Gerald D. Rogers. Mr. Rogers?
Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me clearly? I've been speaking and obviously you could not hear me. Folks, I am absolutely excited. And if you are with us this evening and this call has enlightened your senses and give you a new level of understanding and comprehension, I need you to put a 555 in the chat. I need you to put a 555 in the chat if this has been extremely beneficial to you this evening. So once again, folks, we salute the trade whisperer, Ms. Tasha M. Dyer, for taking time out of her schedule to make sure that you are empowered, you're equipped, you're enriched. And if this has been beneficial, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go to that IML Vibrata Facebook web analyzer group and just drop a testimony in the chat on how empowering that you have become by taking advantage of this information. And then, folks, we have some upcoming events that are going to be taking place here in the Tampa market, BYOB Expo. That's going to be held on the 19th of October. Folks, from 12 to 5 p.m., you're going to have the opportunity to hear from our very own trade whisperer herself, Ms. Tasha M. Dyer, and the likes of Dr. Craig Bythewood, our finance doctor, your RX for Forex. This event is going to be absolutely amazing. If you're really serious about absorbing this information, you need to make sure that tonight you go get registered, byobchallenge.net, online registration, and take full advantage of that, because we are absolutely excited about making sure that we deliver information that's going to enhance, change, and put you in a position where you can always be profitable. So October the 19th, Tampa Bay, Florida area, we want to make sure that you get registered tonight to take full advantage of that information. And then for those who are really enjoy sharing information, those who you really want to take full advantage of the residual component of the business, then we also too are going to be having a leadership development consortium in the Tampa Bay area, Clearwater, Florida, on the 2nd of November. My personal mentor, my coach, a gentleman who's considered to be who's who in the industry, is going to be coming in all the way from New York City. And yes, that's going to be 12 hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., folks. Your early bird registration, folks, it is just going to be a tremendous treat. So if you've ever wanted to know how to understand how to deliver a message, how to step for step, word for word, how to understand the psychology, how to create, how to deliver, how to have impact in 3 to 5 minutes, this gentleman is going to that. This gentleman has coached me. He's mentored me, and our biggest business that we built, we had over 30,000 business partners. So this gentleman is going to share with you everything that he's taught me regarding this industry. So that's going to be on November the 2nd in the Clearwater, Florida area. So you want to make sure that if you're serious about taking your business to the next dimension, if you're serious about having ATM machines, profit centers across the globe, then you want to make sure that whatever you have to do, skateboard, roller skate, any of that, you want to make sure that those two events, the 19th and the 2nd of November, that you're available to absorb this amazing information. And once again, folks, we're absolutely excited. Tomorrow at 5 a.m., we're going to be back at it again and taking the information that you've received tonight, making it applicable to your daily profit goal. And as you've looked and as we share with you tonight, it's not about the big payday, but it's making sure that you get paid every day with proper risk management, understanding proper lot sizes, and just trusting your analysis. And folks, our purpose, our mission, our goal is to ensure that you become the most profitable individual that you ever desire to be, understanding that I am a master trader. All my trades end in profit. And with that being said, I am the lender and not the borrower. So tomorrow at 5 a.m., and if tonight has been beneficial to you, please, as we're signing off, I want you to put a 7-7 in the chat, knowing that it's complete, it's done, that you are a master trader and all your trades end in profit. So with that being said, God bless, have a wonderful evening, and we will see you at 5 a.m. in the morning, if the Lord's will. God bless you, and have an amazing evening.